Hi guys, welcome to Scholar. This is Aditya. So today I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Ajay Yeshwanth sir. The He's an IAS who have cleared the IAS exam, one of most toughest exam of India in the first attempt. So today we will take some tips and tricks from Ajay sir that sir how he made this, and how you guys can take the help from Ajay sir to achieve your dreams in any examination. Basically, we'll be talking about the IAS examination because Ajay sir is having expertise in IAS. Although he has already guided to lots of the aspirants after achieving his goal, he has already guided to lots of the aspirants, and they also cleared the IAS examination. So, Ajay sir, welcome to Scholar sir. Warm welcome to you. Thanks for giving your precious time to all of us. And here we have our students. Wishing to you good evening, sir.
Thank you so much, Aditya. Pleasure meeting you all, and pleasure joining with you in this lecture.
Yeah.
Cleaning everyone. Yes.
So, sir, I have few questions for you.
Yep.
Those are the doubts of my students, our students. They were asking us. They are preparing for mainly UPSC examination, and there are lots of students who are clearing the pre-examination. Even they are clearing mains examination easily every year. But the problem is interview, and because you have cleared the interview in the first attempt, definitely there was a very specific strategy which you have tried in interview and that worked. So we want to know about that strategy. First of all, I'll start with my first question. My first question is, UPSC is considered as the most difficult exam in India. How difficult it was for you to crack it in the first attempt? Sir, you are not audible.
Yes.
Yeah, now it's
to be frank, it was really difficult.
Oh.
And I understood the difficulty when I couldn't clear it afterwards. So,
Oh.
so I think I can very well appreciate the difficulty of clearing in first attempt, and because actually the exam process is quite simple. So I think the whole difficulty comes in because like so many people are writing it and there are very less number of posts available. So I think that is what making it difficult. But apart from it, it's going to be a regular exam, non-competitive exam. It's a pretty easy one. It's a very basic one for anyone for that matter.
Okay. Means if once we decided that okay, this is my goal, I want to achieve it, and if you will put all your efforts towards the examination, definitely you will be able to crack it.
Definitely. Yes.
Um, Sir, you are an engineer, right?
Yeah.
You have completed engineering. Being a successful engineer, why UPSC came to your mind? What was the reason?
So I finished while during my graduation in NIT Trichy, I was thinking of multiple career options. One of which was doing an MBA.
Okay.
But the one thing that I thought was the job should be diverse, and I also need to be and I also looking at something which the jobs can keep me going every day, and also a job in which can actually make an impact. So I was considering UPSC that time, and I was doing some basic groundwork. But then actually the moment came when I'm from an urban background. Okay, my parents are educated, so they gave me good opportunities from the young age, and I am blessed because of that. But I am a very serious. I have my serious notions that given the right opportunities, people from the rural areas can perform better than me. I cleared IIEEE because I went to again private coaching, and I'm sure because of the. If not that, probably I wouldn't have cleared. Okay, so. But I was of the opinion that the same coaching, the same facilities available to the rural students, then they will be much more eligible than me. So I always believed in that. It's just that opportunities is what is the separating factor. So during my final year, I was actually in Tamil Nadu. There are a lot of government schools are there. So my college organized IIEEE that year. So what I did, I tried to reach out to multiple students, multiple schools by making a separate booklet and sending it to all the schools about IIEEE in both in Tamil and English. So that the school principals can do it. And I also reached out to the chief educational officers, who is the head of the education department in every district, to ask them to send a circular to all the principals to read it out and stick it on the notice board, etc. What I can do type. So actually that time I invited the collector to inaugurate that event, and she told she was busy. Like, fine, I'll go ahead with it anyways. So then finally, the last one in the morning, she told, Ajay, I'm free, I'll join. So I was like, okay, ma'am. And then the moment she came, and there was a whole lot of press came, and that became a huge hit because again the media covered the whole event, and they gave my mobile number, and in like on that day around in 10 newspapers my mobile number came, and I after that I nearly personally discussed with around 10,000 of students in over phone, like even now calls used to come, you told that you'll help out rural students, are you still doing it types. I was like, yeah, but I kind of forgot exams, but yes, I can do whatever, your request is. But, see, ultimately what I'm saying is the moment came that time, like, if not the DM, the collector wouldn't have come on that day, I don't know what sort of reach my initiative would have had.
Yes.
But that is kind of a moment of realization that, if a DM can come, the things can change. And that is when I observed the impact what, people in service, people in government can make. So before then I was just fiddling around whether to do, not to do types. And that day I just decided I'm going to go for it. That was in final year, and then started preparing afterwards. Yeah.
Nice. Actually, I had a separate question for you that, sir, why you decided to come to UPSC and all these things, but I got the reason. The reason why you decided. So we'll skip that question. Now my next question is, sir, if someone want to start the preparation of UPSC from scratch, someone is completely zero, and they want to start the preparation.
Yes.
You have done the preparation, I think, in 1 year, 1.5 years, if I'm not wrong.
1 year I prepared. Yes.
1 year you prepared and you cleared it. So if there are lots of questions for me from the students, sir, is it possible to clear the UPSC in 1 year? So we have answered, yes, it is possible. Even the students of banking sector, they are, sir, is it possible to clear the banking sector in 3 months? Answer is yes, because I have lots of my students who have cleared it in 3 months. Right now, my question is, if someone want to start the preparation from scratch, how they can do, sir? What should be the initial method?
See, whenever somebody asks such question, I always tell them this. So one needs to, there are two things that are needed. One, first I will say is guidance, maybe, because I am here because of my seniors, my college seniors. So they always guided me, like, you need to do this, you need not do this, you should not do this. This is what you study, this is what you don't need to study. My seniors weren't able to clear, although they were equally brilliant, and I won't say equal, probably they're more brilliant than me, and they're much more capable of, but somehow, I don't know, probably luck didn't favor, or I don't know, probably, but I got the right mentorship because they had to figure it out everything for themselves, but I had my seniors who helped me. And the same reason I guided my junior, say Kirti Vasan, who's also my college junior and a very good friend of mine, and he cleared UPSC in his first attempt and he got rank of 28 or something. He was state topper that year, and because I I was able to guide him at every instance, and I had my senior as well. So I think mentorship is what is quite important, so that you don't waste time. Like, you don't actually see what is working, see what is not working. Yes, you can do it, but it will take some 3-4 years to do it. But with good mentorship, like, probably you'll avoid all the roadblocks. So that is first that I'll say. And second, I always say, like, there are two things that is most important. One is the syllabus, other is the question paper. So I always tell them that, this is finally what is important. You need to clear this exam. So if you want to be knowledgeable, etc., I don't think it's the outcome of whatever the preparation that you're going to do. You just need to get a good rank. So what is important to get a good rank? So you need to get a good mark, and to get a good mark, you need to see the question paper, what they're asking in first place. So question paper is one. You have question paper in one hand, and on the other hand, you have your syllabus. So if you can compare both and see, which question comes from where and how they're asking the questions, that is what is more important. Because I was trying to read newspaper and all the content day in and day out for 3 months, but after a point I realized, like, what is what I need out of this newspaper? Like, I'm reading it, but what is needed here, what is not needed here? I'm reading a book, what is needed here, what is not needed here? So that clarity one will be able to get only when they know what is asked in the question paper and what is in the syllabus. The moment that comes in, whatever book they study, I don't think it matters at all.
Yes. So it is very, very important. You should know that what actually required to study.
Yes.
Because there is bulk of notes, knowledge, books available in the market. If you will get stuck, it will be like.
I'll say a few things, like say Lakshmikant, which is quite important for Indian polity. There are few books like that, but apart from it, there are a number of materials because there is no other standard source. So you can read whatever you want. I don't really say, like, you need to read this, you need to read that, like,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So, sir, my next question is, is it required to frame separate strategy for pre and mains examination for UPSC?
There are few subjects which are more prelims oriented, like medieval history, etc. So apart from that, I think if we should have a combined strategy for both, because I don't see why both are separate. And while reading, one should read both, but while practicing, I think that is what the difference is going to come. Like how they are going to attempt, etc. But apart from that, I think both have to read. Any topic you take, that question can either come in prelims or also in mains. So I don't think you should have a separate one for that, and I think you should have both. Like,
okay,
I don't think
means I can find the answer in your last answer, that you should know this is syllabus.
Yeah.
And these are the questions.
These are the questions that's going to come. Exactly.
And if you know this thing, then you can make a parallel strategy for pre and mains both.
Pre and mains, exactly. Because see, you at the end of the day, you have to study national park, and then in prelims mostly they'll ask about which national park, where it comes, or probably what all the things that are say what is buffer area, what is core area, and what is National Tiger Conservation Authority. So they're very, 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 very standard questions. But mains will have similar inquisitive questions on the same national parks, like what are the reasons do you think declining, say increasing tigers, which has worked, whether Project Tiger has worked or something like that. So if you're going to study separately both that and that, it's going to be repetition. You just have to study it together and see which one will work where.
Got it. Sir, now the main topic, which was the core of our today's session, that is interview.
Yes.
UPSC interview. So, what was the best part of your UPSC interview?
Okay, I'll see. I handled only one interview. I was qualified for only one interview, and I got a pretty good mark in that, 193, and I went at a pretty young age. When I was doing interview, I was just 23. So 193 is a pretty good marks in interview. So I one of the best moments was I prepared a lot for the interview. Generally, people say, interview you just go directly, but I prepared a lot, and I'll share what preparation I did later. But one thing I had in mind was, I was looking at my DAF, my detailed application form, and then it had one of my hobbies was cricket. Obviously, most of the people's hobby is cricket. And I also had in 12th standard what all subjects you study. So I have written maths, physics, chemistry, and whatever I studied. So I was just seeing both, and what if, they ask, like, you're an engineer and you're a science student and you also follow cricket. So why do you, what are the science aspects of any sport, like, especially cricket? And major science aspect which most of the people won't get it is the in-swing, out-swing, how the swing happens as such. Okay. Wow. So this one I because why I tell you, because of the preparation I did, because I had every word in my DAF, I had one sheet in Google Excel. So in Google Excel, I had one sheet for every topic. So in cricket, if it's written, I had 50, 60 questions asked, and I myself answered. And say I had say one of the other passion is my following India at Olympics. So which I'm right now doing right in front of me, watching India and Germany hockey match. So which I do very religiously. And I have written around 100 questions for that. And one of the 60 questions for cricket is how the physics of cricket works, how the swing bowling works. Okay. And I have been, there is one nice ESPN video, I think, in YouTube, or some famous video, which says of turbulence, the aerodynamics and all those aspects. To be very frank, I keep on forgetting it. Last 40-50 days of interview, every 10 days I will see it once, because after the 10th day I will forget it. What was the concept? I totally forgot. Okay, but every time I was going through my sheet, so I forgot. I think I've forgotten that. And you won't believe me. In my interview, one question was straight this. So Ajay, you have studied physics and you're also a cricket fan. Can you explain me the science of the swing bowling? I was like, wow, just wow. Because I put in so much of effort in memorizing every 10 days, because I tell memorizing because I just simply couldn't understand what is it. And but then it was worth the effort. So then then I meant few things depends on the effort also you put. So that was just the wow moment, because there are few things you predict that your interviewer is going to ask, and he asks that questions, and you feel yes, come on, I prepared for this well. So that was the best moment.
Yeah. Even in the previous interviews also, sir, I have heard these things. You should be aware about yourself.
Yes.
Before interview.
Yes.
Instead of the complete world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So this is what you have also done. You were aware about you were aware about yourself, that so that helped you in interview. So
Yeah.
this is a tips for all other student as well, guys. Aware about yourself before the interview, what you are writing in the paper, what you are writing in your intro, each and everything should be very much clear, each and every word should be very much clear, like Ajay sir told us. Second thing, sir, I strictly want few tips of interview, sir. Like what should be the soft skills, what how the student should create their intro, what are the important things should be there in the intro of UPSC, on which they can save themselves, because interview of UPSC, like I didn't got the opportunity any time to attend it, but I heard it's really they can easily make you uncomfortable during the interview if they want. So few tips for interview.
Yes, I'll start off by saying the first thing, like, even whatever I'm doing now is an interview. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing that, you need to be sharp. You need to be to the point. I'll say why. Because, say, previous question you asked and I was start answering. And then a moment afterwards, I noticed probably, you want me to end it soon so that you can go to the next question.
Yeah.
You're getting it. Okay. So that is some cue that I take it from you, that I've exceeded my limit. So every question in UPSC is like that. You should not bore your interviewer. And you should also let your interviewer look out to you like, okay, fine. You should not end it so quickly that the interviewer still looks into you like further. I expect more. So it needs to be at the right sweet spot. Like, every question, 2 or 3 lines max. So that shows that, you know what you're speaking and you are always to the point. So you don't talk about everything outside. So first is to be precise. And how to be precise, like, you have to predict these and you have to write those questions and prepare those answers. Because if the question is going to be new to you, then you're going to take a lot more time. So that is to be precise. And second one, always be bit smiling and probably a bit more confident. Confidence is something that should actually brim through you. So those are the non-verbal cues that always comes out. So that is one. And second, prepare for each and everything that's in your detailed application form, very, in a much more finer manner. Like, say I had my production engineering from my native Trichy, and to be frank with you, I didn't do my engineering that seriously. But more than my semester exams, I prepared that more for my interview, because how I studied for interview doesn't matter to how I studied for my graduation doesn't matter to the interview. Those guys expect that, you're a production engineer, so you know what you're doing. Like, you're done whatever your best effort in that. So for this, I prepared a lot. Every subject, every semester paper I took, and I framed minimum 50 questions from each and every paper. And so that's it. Like, you need to know what all the things that you're writing. And second one, just don't think, you need to be opinionated, you need to be not opinionated, and there'll be so many tips that will be going on. Like, this year you can take a stance, you don't need to take a stance. I hardly think it matters, because each and every interview board is different. Each and every person who assesses you is different. So you can't really do much about it. And so that is one. So these are 3-4 main things which I will say, you need to focus. Main thing is to be precise and to be more confident. One can easily see who's confident and who's not.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. So these were the tips for interview. And guys, this is not only for UPSC interview.
Yes, any interview for that.
Any interview you are attending in the private sector or in the public sector, for banking sector, for UPSC, state services, any sector you can apply these tips, and it will work. It will work. The next question is, sir, books or handwritten notes, which are better to prepare for UPSC? Or combo?
For everything.
Everything.
No, I'm just saying for books or written. I think I'll see. I kind of feel like written notes is it's fine. It definitely help you in a while, but one needs to be much more efficient. So I'll say try to have a written note as less as possible. Where do you think you can't see? There will be few instances where you need to jump between books to books, book 1, book 2, book 3. So for a small topic. And in those areas, you can specially take a written note. But apart from it, I definitely recommend to avoid handwritten notes as much as possible, because anyway, you have so much of resources at hand.
Okay.
So only on few instances, like, where it will be difficult to read multiple books for a single topic at the same time. Like, 2 lines from this book, 3 lines from this book, 4 lines from that book. So you have it everything at once. And even then, at this digital era, I'll definitely not prefer a handwritten notebook. So I really wish it's going to be it's going to be a digital note, so that you can always search, you can always add whatever you want.
From anywhere you can access it.
Anywhere you can access it, exactly. Like, on the go, you can see it in your phone or in your lap. You can search Control F. It works a lot. So I think that is going. Digital note will be the new thing. Yeah. Because I think, in 10 years, I don't think we are going to have written minds. I think that's my guess. That's my guess.
Okay. Sir, one more question. I'm taking you back to the interviews. Did you went for mock interviews?
Yes.
Because there are lots of students, those are fearing with the word interview.
So I went for a lot of mock interviews. Okay. So one thing I tell to avoid is that, see, people are different. People who are going to evaluate is different. When I conduct mock interviews, see, I generally conduct a special one-to-one mock interview with most of my friends, and most of them are cleared with good rank, less than 50 and all that. So I have only one-to-one sessions because I kind of believe like people are different. The way I evaluate one person, it's going to be totally different than the way the UPSC board member is going to evaluate you. Ultimately, what UPSC board member is going to evaluate you matters a lot, because that is what is going to get you the marks. So I'll strongly say you go to mock interview, don't really worry what the panel member says. Few will make sense to you, few will not make sense. Few will say, you're smiling a lot. Few will say you're smiling less. So ultimately, it's not going to matter at the end of the day, because whether the interviewer feels like, you have a blunt face, or probably, you smiled a lot. So his take is going to make an impact. But why I say to attend more mock interviews is that, as I told before, you have a lot of questions I prepare for each and every topic, right, in my DAF. Like, how I am, like say cricket means I have 60 questions. So I attended, of which only 30 questions I have written. And rest 30 questions because of, like, say, 10 mocks that I went before my actual UPSC interview. So from all the 10 interview panel, I expect, like, how actually different people are seeing my DAF, how different questions that they're asking. And each and every question I prepare and I add it to the question bank, whatever I have with my DAF. So for that purpose, one should go to multiple mock interviews. Don't ever put what all the interviewer is saying. It doesn't matter, because he's not going to sit in UPSC mains. And if he's going to sit also, then also it's going to help having different mocks, because that guy has already interviewed you. But I don't think that's going to happen. But just that, just for the sake of having more questions at your stake, you have to attend more mock interviews.
More mock interviews. So mock interviews are very, very important. Yes. Sir, before your interview, did you prepare from your graduation also? Like, maybe they can ask questions related to your graduation, related to your engineering. Did you prepare for that syllabus as well?
Yes, I told you, right? Like, I think I told a while before, like, more than my graduation, I prepared, just a minute. So before my graduation, I prepared a lot for, during my graduation, I didn't prepare much, but for the interview, I prepared a lot of topics for my graduation. So for each and every paper, like few papers, now I'm a production engineer. So say, for example, building technology, machining technology, and then industrial, operations research, supply chain management. These are some of the papers that I have. So for each and every topic, I prepared minimum 50, 60 questions. Like, what can come out of each and every topic. Okay. So you won't believe, my board chairman was Mr. P.K. Joshi, who is the current chairman of UPSC. He was the board chairman that time. And he's a professor, I think so. He's a professor. I didn't go into much of who's my, after coming from interview only, I checked it out. And he just asked me 11 straight questions from my production engineering graduation. Not even one question he asked extra. And of 11 questions, 8 questions is the one that I prepared. I told you, right, I have a separate question bank of what I can expect. And say, what is Six Sigma, what is green production, what is just-in-time manufacturing, and all those. Like, he had 11 questions, 11 pure technical questions. You feel like as if you are applying for some MTech interview types. And of 11, I had 8 prepared, so 8 I answered. 3 I didn't know. I simply said I don't know. That's it. So and he was happy. And after that, he didn't even ask a regular question also. Only all 11 technical questions he asked. So I prepared a lot for my graduation, and it's important because. And especially for people without work experience, all you have done in life, according to the board members, to graduate. So you better know what your graduation is.
Correct. You can't run from there.
You can't run from there. Yeah. Whether you like it or not, probably you don't like your graduation. That's why you're writing UPSC. That's a different story. But they believe that, you've done your graduation with it. So at least for that sake, one needs to be well prepared of graduation.
Okay. Yeah. Sir, while writing the examination in any sector, there is always fear of result.
Yes.
While writing it. How we can overcome that?
I don't know. To be frank, I never really overcame the fear. I think it was very important for me to study every day in and day out. So
So you should not be fearing about either it will be pass or fail. There is no third case, right?
it's, yeah, that's what, it's not going, you are not going to run out of it. But I honestly think fear is important, because like the moment I got into service, I'll be frank, like the moment I got into service, I didn't have much of fear of failure, because I already have a job in hand. I didn't have much to worry. So probably that's why maybe I didn't clear later. Probably that could be one of the reasons, because the only thing that kept me going my first attempt was the fear. So I honestly think fear is what which will help people to actually, you know, to prepare seriously. So fear is good, and I don't think I don't think I overcame fear. I lived with fear.
Okay. Means we can use that fear
You
for
can
our
use it, exactly. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
perfect. It will be the perfect answer. You can use that fear. Okay, sir. Sir, there is a problem with the aspirants, every sector. How to manage time in between family, friends, uh, studies, main important thing is studies, preparation. A few are there in the relationship as well. So they are very confused that how to manage time between all these things. When you were giving time for your UPSC preparation, how you were managing the time in between your family, friends, and your studies for UPSC?
See, not just for UPSC, even now I always tell my friends, like, you know, there is, you know, I tell everyone for that matter, it's not something what I said, it's something what someone else said. Nobody is busy in the world, it's all about priorities. So I always, during my first term, I always prioritized UPSC. And frankly, afterwards, I didn't prioritize UPSC as first. So I always, during my first time, I always prioritized UPSC. So that is the first thing. And second, whenever I am not studying, I used to think, like, you know, in this moment somebody else is studying. So obviously he's putting in more effort, so he deserves to be there. Okay. So always keep in mind, whenever you're not studying, it's not like, you know, world has ended for everyone. So somebody else is studying, somebody else is putting in his effort. So that is one. And third, I always have this monthly target, I mean quarterly target, monthly target, weekly target. So I am totally okay with missing daily targets. So daily target also I had. So daily I know what I want to do today, and I'm okay with missing daily targets. You know, sometimes my friends call me like, yeah, let's go for dinner, or probably like my friends come from somewhere else. So probably, you know, call your parents, or I mean, not just call, I mean, meeting or visiting your parents, etc. Whatever it is. So that is, those are, so I'm readily okay with missing daily targets, because I don't mind going out, because I know that I have to cover weekly targets. So I'll develop sometime and I'll try and cover the weekly target. So don't be too harsh on yourself. Like, you know, 1 day, 2 day missing is not an issue. But if you missed your target for 7 days, it means that you haven't consistent for a week, and that is something, it's bad. One can be inconsistent for a day. It's not like everybody is, you're not a robot. Like, you know, there are challenges, and it's fine. But you can't miss your weekly target. So that's what I will say. Like, you know, have daily target, weekly target, monthly and quarterly targets. Okay, you can miss your weekly targets, but never miss your, I mean, you can miss your daily targets, but never miss your weekly targets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, sir, coming to the current profile, you're
Yes.
working as a Deputy Auditor General of Madhya Pradesh government.
Yes.
Right, sir. What is the work actually you do?
So what happens is that you'd have read about the constitutional body of Comptroller and Auditor General. So he has a lot of field officers who are actually working for him and producing and auditing the government departments. So every state has accountant general, so who audits the whole government, and below him there are 3, 4, or probably 4, 5 deputy accountant generals who are in charge of auditing the respective departments. So when you clear UPSC and get allotted to Indian Audit and Account Service, you'll be posted as one of the DAGs, Deputy Accountant Generals. And so my responsibility is auditing 3 departments of government of Madhya Pradesh. So one is the energy department, all the discoms and the generating company comes under the department, and also the public works department, and also the public health engineering department. So 3 departments are my audit jurisdiction. So I have like 15 audit teams who are recruited through SSCs and WOs and senior audit officers. So I have 15 teams consisting of them. So my job role is to send them across Madhya Pradesh of various offices of these 3 departments that I spoke about, and they will flag me if there is any, if there is any issue, like, if there is any diversion of funds, or if there is any non-compliance to particular government rules or financial rules, etc. So, and if the issue is really huge, so then we'll again report to the headquarters office, which is headed by the Comptroller and Auditor General. After which we'll compile a report and we'll submit it to the State Legislative Assembly, which then takes action, or probably which then takes action on the audit observation with the government. So that's my team. So that's my role. It's more like you have to manage your audit team and audit the your audit departments, your respective.
Nice. So it's a combo of administration and finance.
Yes, it's a combo of administration and finance, because mostly you'll face HR issues, but even outside that, you have to put in your brain and say, like, this is right, this is wrong. Say, for example, if some financial irregularity has happened, so then the team will say irregularity has happened, but then sometimes you need to put your brain and say, like, to ask them to find out where the issue has happened, like, and to who has to be held responsible for it, who has to be fixed responsibility. So it's more inquisitive, and it also has all the regular HR issues which any person who is recruited into UPSC faces, because ultimately the job role is leadership. So you have to manage a team, and depending on your service and depending on the nature of job, the number of people differs.
Okay.
So here on an average, if you're IA&A audit and account service officer, you'll on an average have around 100 people to manage at the start. Yes.
Okay. Next question is, sir.
Yeah.
Most of the people in India, even 99% of people in India, they think once you clear IAS exam or once you became IAS officer,
Okay.
life is very, very chill, very, very easy. You just have to sit in your office and take a cup of tea. Is it is it right, sir?
Yeah, you can sit in office and have a cup of tea like me, but life may not be so simple for everyone. So it depends on. So see, I mean, the comforting factor one is, say, for example, amidst this COVID times. So there are a lot of my lot of friends who are actually fearful of their job security despite their performance on the job. That's always with the hire and fire system outside. So once you're in government, you're protected. So you'll have a lot of fear, and you'll have a lot of pressure of job, but you will not have fear of job, because you know that it will be very difficult for someone to remove you from government, whether for positive or negative reasons. So you'll not be fearful of your job, but you will definitely feel the pressure of a job. And actually that changes from the post charge to charge. Sometimes one will have a light charge, and sometimes one will have a difficult charge, or probably sometimes one will have 2-3 more additional charges of others. So 2-3 light charges will make a difficult charge. So that changes, but one will definitely have the pressure. Yes,
Okay.
but life will be sorted. So the government has a very strong supportive system to support the officers. So life will be sorted, and you won't have the fear of job, but you'll have the pressure of job.
Yeah. So we can say that there is a saying that great powers come with great responsibility and great pressure.
Yeah. So yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
Right. A few students are asking right now that is there any question that why you want to come to the UPSC after engineering?
Frankly, I didn't during interview. I never had such a question.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, this is more. So frankly, I'll be much more antagonistic if somebody comes up with a question, because the qualification for UPSC itself was you need to have a graduation. And specified you should not have an engineer. So the qualification permitted me. So if I was actually planning to answer this, and even now if somebody asks, I'll definitely answer this, because the qualification permitted me to apply, and I applied. Frankly, because there are multiple reasons, but it just qualified me to apply, and I applied, because you can't simply say engineers are not needed, doctors are not needed, and you have seen a lot of. You just go and take most of the state government departments. You see the principal secretary health. You see the MD of any medical procurement company. You see the director health in almost all the states. At least I know in Madhya Pradesh. So you see them. Most of them are doctors. Like, and then because they combine both the administrative knowledge and their technical skills. So likewise, even engineering has a lot of impacts here. Like, say for example, right now I'm auditing the public works department. Sometimes I think like I should have actually taken. I mean, although I'm not going to have this charge permanently, but sometimes I think like, boss, probably if I had civil engineering graduation, I'd have be able to much more effective in my job than whatever I'm right now. So because it actually helps.
Yeah.
So that skill always helps. I also audit the thermal plants here of Madhya Pradesh. So when my audit team or even I get inquisitive and ask the company officials for the technical, the heat factor of the company, and I mean heat factor of the thermal plant and all that. So where my technical skills, because I did part of production, I also studied a bit of thermal engineering also. So that comes into help. So you can never really say that being an engineer is not helpful in this job. It does help. Yeah.
Okay. Knowledge always helps you in future. That
Yes,
is the
and UPSC has basic engineering graduation as their qualification for this one.
yeah, yeah.
If they don't want engineers, let them write specifically. They don't need BE BTech. Until unless it's open for me, I'll apply. That's it.
Correct, sir. Sir, I have already asked you how to start the preparation from scratch, but I want to add a point here. Means I heard from most of the people you should start it from NCERT. You should start it from NCERT. Is it really very necessary to start it from NCERT? Means did you gone through the same phase?
No, I started only after graduation. So so what I'll say to people is that if you're starting after graduation, like you're starting full fledged, probably you can avoid NCRT because that will take a lot of time for you to complete. But if you're actually doing your graduation and then you're starting it right in between, I think NCRT helps because it slowly brings you the pace. It slowly sets you to get into the groove and all that. So that helps.
Okay.
So I'll strongly recommend that. Like if somebody is actually graduating, then don't need to jump into Lakshmikant and all those hi-fi books directly. Like you can slowly pick up NCRT, read what is what, and get a fair bit of idea of what is all the subjects are for because you have enough time. So I think
Perfect.
yes.
Perfect answer. Means if you have time, definitely you should go for NCERT. But you have
Yes.
completed your graduation, you're well enough to occupy with the high level books, then you can straightforward start with the books as well.
Yes, I mean whether if you're well, if you're not enough or all, doesn't matter because you hardly have less time, and if you're starting with NCRT, it's going to be really difficult to complete. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sir, is there anyone in your family who were associated with the administrative job previously? Means from where you got the motivation that I should be an administrative officer?
No, to be frank, the community in which I belong to, I am the first person after 50 years to clear UPSC. So there has been absolutely no one in my near and years who have actually cleared. So as I told before, the only persons who helped me are my friends. In my friends and relatives, there is absolutely no one because nobody had any clue of what the exam is and how was it for. So like my seniors helped me a lot, but no, nobody in my near and dear ones. Yeah.
Okay, okay. One more thing, sir. Maybe it can help to the aspirants. Those are already in IAS or IPS because there are lots of my friends. Those are in IAS jobs, but they are planning for the higher studies. So, do you have any such plans for higher studies after IAS examination?
Yeah, I mean, the government actually sends you to study abroad after some time, like
Hmm.
after putting you a couple of years of service.
Hmm.
So I'm also thinking, but I haven't really focused on what I actually want to do because see, these days you see a lot of things about getting specialized and people coming from outside the post of joint secretary and all that. So ultimately, what it means is that the government are also looking for some specialists. They don't want generalists anymore. So they want you to get in the job and learn the job and see how you can equip yourselves more, how you can actually upgrade yourself more. So that is what the government wants, and it's expecting of its employees. You'd have learned about people who are studying UPS. They learned about mission karma yogi and all that. So
Hmm.
given all that, I also want to keep myself updated, and whenever a good opportunity arises, I definitely will love to study the higher master in something which is
Okay,
needed for the job.
okay, okay, okay. So, yes, sir. From my side, I have made all these questions
Okay.
and I have asked you, and perfectly I have got each and every answer for my satisfaction and from for the satisfaction for my students. Each and every answer you have given were very, very smooth, very easy in a very easy language, so they will be able to understand it. I hope that in future you will going to join us again after some months or some years to guide our students back. Maybe before the UPSC interview, one more time you can guide us just
Sure.
specific related to the interview that what they should cover for the upcoming interview because of the current issues and all you can suggest related to that, sir. Uh, Thank you for giving your precious time, sir. We know that how busy nowadays the administrative officers are, and you are giving time to our student for that. Thanks a lot, sir. Any last message you want to give to our student?
What I will just thank you so much and thank you so much for having and it was a pleasure talking to everyone. So one last thing what I would like to say is that don't be harsh on yourself. So things happen and sometimes things cannot happen and all you need to know is that you don't have 100% control over this exam. So And if it's going to be objective, then you can say to an extent you have 100% control over it. It's going to be a subjective exam, so there are a lot of things that not under control. And if you're not getting the marks or if you're not getting the rank, so it doesn't mean you have made a mistake. So probably you can wait till your turn comes, or probably if you're actually you have something else great in mind, one should pursue it. UPSC is not the make or break of everything. So that's what, have it easy, guys. Don't be harsh on yourself. It's not always in your control. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, Ajay sir, for giving the time again, and we'll join you back as soon as possible.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Yes. Good night. Yeah.